Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, city volunteers in the Philippines are handing out 3,000 serves of hot meals to the recent flood victims. South Africa city volunteers are setting up their first recycling station in the Chinatown in Johannesburg to promote recycling. And we visit the one remaining cathode oil factory in Taiwan's Miaoli to learn the hard work that goes into making camphor oil. We start today's show in the Philippines, which was struck by torrential rain that left many cities flooded, including Manila. To help flood victims, on August 7th, city volunteers handed out 3,000 serves of hot meals at local schools, churches and emergency shelters, and promised to return soon to hold aid distributions.
In 9 days, relentless rain submerged the city of Manila.
The rain flooded 11 cars at my home, but this time we were well prepared. It is okay if some items are damaged. In Manila, we have 3 Tzu locations. The Jinshi Hall, the Tzu chapters, and environmental station were not flooded.
After receiving the news, the volunteers quickly mobilized and visited local schools, churches, and emergency shelters.
We received news that the situation in many places was terrible. Many people in the slum area were evacuated to a temporary shelter. They didn't have any food or water.
Since the heavy rainfall came too quickly, many fled their homes in a hurry. To help the victims, volunteers provided bread, water, and hot meals. The volunteers also started planning for future distribution.
In storage, you still have 10,000 bags of rice from Taiwan. We also have blankets and food. We will try our best to deliver these items to the victims as soon as possible.
Other than Manila, 5 other provinces were also affected by the disaster, including the city of Marikina, which was affected by Typhoon Kusena in 2009. Currently, city volunteers are trying their best to deliver relief items to the flood victims as soon as possible.
Also in Asia, but moving to Indonesia, city volunteers held a free clinic at West Pademangan near North Jakarta to provide free checkup for senior residents who are unable to afford the medical costs. Thanks to Tzu, many elderly people have gained a better understanding of their health conditions.
65-year-old Maimuna has problems with her feet and is not able to walk properly. However, since medical fees are high, she couldn't afford to see a doctor.
I'm really grateful to the volunteers. Because of the Tzu volunteers, the atmosphere in the community is different today. The volunteers are one heart and one soul, and they bring so much love and care to this place.
Today, Tzu volunteers held a free clinic in West Pademangan of North Jakarta, hoping to give all the seniors a thorough checkup.
I'm very happy for this chance to participate in this free clinic. They measure my blood pressure. Unfortunately, I don't have any health problems. If I would do this at another place, I would have to pay a lot of money for it.
Volunteers happily participate at their free clinic. Seeing the smiles on the patients' faces makes all the hard work worthwhile.
For the past 8 years, the Tzu Dallas chapter in the United States has been distributing school supplies to needy students. Every year, students from low and middle class families are chosen by the Dallas school district to receive coupons from Tzu. This time, the event was joined by 6 students from the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. Let's take a look.
The recovery of the U.S. economic is slow, and there are about 40 to 50,000 people from low-income families who will be receiving supplies. Six students from Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, including Earl, participate at the distribution and are grateful for the chance to give.
I came here today with my fellow brothers to help volunteer because I told Shugong Xiangwen back in Hualien that I would start to volunteer more. And after volunteering today, I feel good because I'm helping less fortunate students that can't afford uniforms.
It is also an opportunity for Tziqings to introduce bottles and blankets made from recyclable materials. Early in the morning, volunteers gather at the distribution venue in order to make the event a success and further spread Tziji's love.
Typhoon Morakot brought devastation to much of southern Taiwan, with several mountain areas bearing the brunt of the damage. Among the worst hits were the areas in and around Kaohsiung's Taoyuan, Namasha, Jiaxian, as well as Pingdong's Lingbian Township. In response, local governments began building housing settlements at safer locations for the residents. The Kaohsiung government alone has built over 1,000 homes that can house up to 4,000 residents. However, for many of those living in the mountains, the area, despite its dangers, is their home and they are reluctant to leave. This June, however, Taiwan was again hit by a major monsoon that brought flooding to flashpoints across the island, with houses and communities in the mountains once again left devastated. Residents have realized the need to move off the mountain, but still struggle to find the balance between where their heart lies and where safety can be found. One-third of bedroom, leftover clothing, and half a roof is what is left of this home. 2 months ago, these children used to live in this house in Taoyuan District's Fuxing Borough. Following the 6/11 flood, the house lies buried in sediment and rock. The raging waters of the flood swallowed up land and houses alike. These were houses that were rebuilt following Typhoon Morakot 3 years ago, but in one day, years of hard work disappeared.
After Typhoon Morakot, we asked for this area should be handled, but in the end, no one did anything for these 3 years, and so in the end, it became like this.
During the 6/11 flood, the authoritic Chen Weiguang was forced to flee his home on his knees. He escaped with his life but suffered damage to his legs as well as the loss of his entire house.
When it rains hard, residents, especially old ones, will be afraid, and for the whole night will not be able to sleep. It is only when the rain finally stops that they can fall asleep.
Following Typhoon Morakot 3 years ago, residents here are on their guard with every rainfall. As well, the slopes of the surrounding hills and mountains still remains precarious 3 years on.
For some of the senior residents, being away from home is not comfortable. They don't want to leave the mountain. They hope there can be a temporary shelter here.
Following Typhoon Morakot, the Kaohsiung city government built over 1,000 permanent homes for the residents of Jiaxian, Taoyuan and Namasha. But for these mountain dwellers, they see the housing as being a temporary shelter only. However, the 6/11 floods have shown clearly that the mountains are not safe and residents now have no choice but to shuttle back and forth between where their heart is and where safety can be found. Next, we go back to the United States. In the past few days, we learn about the first Jingsi Books and Cafe situated inside the man-made green zone in San Diego, California. Today, we follow interior designer Li Chen-Yo, who went digging for recycled materials for window displays and turned what once was considered trash into works of art.
Located in an eco-friendly area of San Diego, California, Jingsi Books and Cafe is doing final stage preparations. In order for even the smallest detail of the store to meet the zero waste criteria, interior design artist Li Chen-Yo is looking for materials at the Los Angeles Trash for Teaching Center.
So that's going to be our display platform. There's going to be one in the right-hand side of the entrance and one very interesting. I found some very interesting materials like these hard paper tubings and as well as some paper-made cord.
For Li Chen-yo, being an artist is to create new life out of trash.
Let's say if I have a DVD player that I don't want anymore, I'm going to throw it in the trash. I will break apart like the plastic front and see if I can make a lampshade out of it, things like that. So at some extent, it's hard to not be a hoarder when you're an artist.
In the warehouse of the Trash for Teaching Center, Li Chen-yo has selected leftover paper tubing from the thread spools of a clothing factory.
Much more colorful, would be more stimulant to the eye as visualized. But also the challenging part is to design something that promotes eco-friendly, but also have the Ciji culture in it. The Ciji, like the more Zen, meditative environment.
Having selected the right materials for his design, how to assemble the colorful paper tubing is the next challenge. Normally, Li Chen-yo would use his trusty glue gun. However, on this occasion, it's not an option.
If I use glue gun, then it might damage my recycled goods. I might not be able to use them for a different purpose. And the glue gun itself, the glue is some kind of synthetic material, so it might not break down in a landfill. Since we're promoting environmental friendliness, that we want even the little detail, the little small things to also be true to our topic, which is environmental friendliness.
The first month of the window display at the Jingsi Books and Cafe is promoting the sorting of trash. With Li Chen-yo's creative mind, these trash items have become works of art. Inside the Jingsi Books and Cafe, recycling is not only about reducing waste and reusing, but it's also a way to carry on a humanitarian lifestyle.
The Chinatown in Johannesburg, South Africa often projects a dirty and chaotic image to foreigners. To reverse this negative impression, city volunteers set up the first recycling station this March to raise awareness on environmental protection. Here's more.
Chinatown in Johannesburg, South Africa often gives foreigners a negative impression with its garbage and foul odors.
People often have a stereotype of Chinatown being a filthy place. We want to change that stereotype.
To improve the image of the local environment, city volunteers set up the first recycling station in Johannesburg here, and stores were encouraged to practice recycling.
Some stores are very helpful, and they will organize the bottles and cans for us. And then we transport them back to the recycling station for cleanup.
A Chinese women's society also wants to practice recycling with us because they find this activity very meaningful.
What are you looking for?
For plastics.
Plastics. And?
Yes.
Anything else?
And teas.
And?
All stuff that can be recycled.
Is it?
Step by step, the volunteers are trying to improve the image of Chinatown and enhance the residents' awareness of environmental protection.
As the 7th lunar month is approaching, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers keep up the promotion of no burning of joss paper and the benefits of vegetarianism. This time, volunteers from Shuanghe Tzu Chi Liaison Office held an event in hopes of inspiring staff of Taiwan Realty to go on a meatless diet. However, it was not easy for many. The manager said they will try their best to continue the effort by booking vegetarian lunch boxes for meetings or gatherings.
Branches of Taiwan Realty in Zhonghe and Yonghe have taken the lead to stop the burning of joss paper money. They are followed by all other branches across Taiwan.
Staff of Taiwan Realty joined the campaign of no burning of joss paper money in the 7th lunar month.
We are doing good things for our environment. Besides, we can save the money that buys joss paper and make better use of it.
Currently, I own 7 branches, and from now on, all branches will stop burning joss paper.
At the promotional event, Tzu Chi volunteers encouraged the staff to use the vegetarianism card as a replacement for the burning of joss paper.
We use the card to present our piety, so we don't have to burn joss sticks, which may pollute the environment.
Everyone follows the volunteers' sign language and prays for blessings as they respond to Tzu Chi's heartfelt appeal.
Balls made from the extract of camphor tree are something that we are all familiar with, as many families use them to keep away insects and mosquitoes. However, nowadays, natural camphor oil is slowly being replaced by chemical fragrance, and there is only one factory in Taiwan that produces natural camphor oil. In our feature report on the island's fading industries, we meet Wu Tenjing in Miaoli to learn about the camphor oil extraction process. Here at Miaoli, this is the only remaining camphor oil factory in Taiwan.
Don't underestimate Taiwan because of its size on the world map. We actually produce a great deal of camphor and were once known as the world's camphor kingdom. In the international market, we used to produce up to 70% of camphor worldwide.
The history of Taiwan's camphor oil dates back to the beginning of the Qing dynasty and once accounted for 70% of the world's production. The industry reached its peak in the Japanese colonial period, and licenses were handed out to camphor oil extractors.
If you were able to differentiate the different types of camphor, then you'll get this certification. This is my father's license. In 1937, he passed the exam and became a camphor extractor for the Japanese people.
Wu Tenjing began learning the extracting skills when he was just 15.
We chop the wood into pieces, then pour it all into this tank and let it go through 5 to 6 hours of distillation. We then extract the oil through this vaporizing process.
After cooling, a separator is then used to extract the camphor oil from the distilled water.
Drifting on the top is the camphor oil. It is a natural ingredient. We use the traditional distillation method to extract drops of oil, and there's absolutely no chemical additives.
Natural camphor oil is not easy to make. It not only depends heavily on manual labor, but after distillation each day, only 40 to 50 kilos of camphor oil can be extracted from 2,500 kilos worth of camphor wood. However, the oil-making master makes sure not to waste any of his resources.
We transport the wood residue over here and use it as fuel to boil the pots during distillation. We make the best use of everything here. The ashes can then be used as fertilizer.
In the 80s, the natural camphor scent was slowly replaced by cheap chemical fragrance, and camphor oil factories were forced to close down one after another. Unwilling to see his father's efforts go to waste, Wu Tenjing's son, Wu Zizhen, put his creativity to the test and began making daily bath items with spare camphor oil.
At the time, we had over 200 buckets of camphor oil in stock, so I thought maybe we should make them into bath items. At first, we made soaps. When you use camphor soap, the mosquitoes won't come near you.
From soap, shower gel, shampoo, and even makeup products, camphor oil is no longer just known as an insect repellent, but is once again a popular choice for families and consumers. In Taiwan, 35-year-old Ke Renjie from Zhanghua's Dacheng Township received the Father of the Year award from the county government. 10 years ago, he was involved in an accident that left him in a coma and a widower. When he woke up, he took on both the roles of mother and father, working odd jobs to pay the bills. For this Father's Day, his only wish is to find a steady job to provide a stable life for his daughter.
Riding a pedicab, Ke Renjie is collecting recyclables.
1. I get some exercise. 2. I can make some money while I'm at it. Although I cannot pedal very easily, it's sort of physical therapy for me.
A car accident 10 years ago left Ke Renjie a widower and in a coma. After waking up, he found his left leg had suffered nerve damage.
I am unable to work a steady job, so I do this to support my income. From this, I make about $66 a month.
Playing the role of father and mother, Ke Renjie cooks dinner and cleans.
I'm on government subsidy. They give me $156 a month, but I'm still young. What I mean is, it's been 11 years like this. I want to prove myself, but I don't have that chance.
He looks older. I think my dad works very hard. I plan to be more filial and listen to him.
For Father's Day, his only wish is to find a steady job.
My daughter is already without mother. She can't be without father too. Although I'm physically disabled, I will continue therapy and find a steady job so that my daughter can have a normal family.
The 2012 Tzu Chi Summer Workshop in the United States have successfully concluded last Sunday, August 5th. The month-long events not only helped students of Tzu Chi Senior High School and Tzu Chi University learn English, but they were also asked to design a day tour for backpackers with limited funding. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.